CONTRAVE is a prescription medicine that may help some adults with obesity or who are overweight and have at least one weight-related medical problem lose weight and keep the weight off. CONTRAVE should be used with a reduced calorie diet and increased physical activity.
It got to the point in my life where, I had to make a change. I had to figure out something. I was always husky. I had a little bit of extra around the stomach area. Had always fluctuated around the same weight, and then over the last 4 or 5 years or so, really was causing so many different problems in my life. I work as a fractional president. With that, it brings a lot of travel, kind of exacerbates the need to be active. Work out 2 hours a day type thing. Like, I don't have time for that. I would just rather spend time with my children than spending 2 hours at the gym. Get to the point where, even last year, had a health scare. My healthcare provider was very blunt with me, which is fair. He basically said that if I don't change something, I am on a really bad path. My family has history of chronic illnesses and disease and that sort of thing, and honestly, dying young, terrified my family, and really became like this reflection point of the fact, Caleb, you need to do something. After we did some blood work, we started to kind of check off the list of options. There are obviously other choices out there, but for me personally, I'm a creature of habit and routine, and one thing that I really like about CONTRAVE is it's daily. I do the same thing every single morning when I get ready, and that's when you take the first dose. Was constantly snacking, putting things in my mouth and holding things and drinking things and that sort of thing. So one of the benefits of CONTRAVE is kind of like a hunger suppressant. And when I'm trying to maintain, my focus versus trying to put something in my mouth, it really helped remove that need. Exercise was definitely something I'd tried. I'm gonna go to the gym 5 days a week. I'm gonna, work out 2 hours a day. Working out was something that I definitely had tried. I always struggled with running, even from childhood into adulthood. My wife, she's an avid runner. She runs, 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, full marathons, and has been doing that for over 10 years now. And she had always pushed me to do something to run with her. She'd been trying to get me to run with her for the last 10 years, and I actually just this past Halloween ran my first 5K, actually ran it. I had a personal goal of 30 minutes, and I ended up doing it in just a little over 31 minutes. So I was pumped. Not everybody's journey is going to be like mine. You're going to find that one thing that is going to work for you. You have to want to make those changes in your life, whether it's for your family, for yourself. One of the very small things has been impactful for me is in my own home, going up and down my steps and not feeling winded, and being able to keep up with my children on the trampoline in the backyard, helping them, ride a bike. It's just been such a great experience for me personally.
While not approved for children under 18, one ingredient in CONTRAVE may increase suicidal thoughts or actions in some children, teens, and young adults within the first few months. Call a doctor right away if any unusual changes in mood, behaviors, thoughts, or feelings occur. Do not take CONTRAVE if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, history of seizures, anorexia or bulimia, allergies to any ingredients in CONTRAVE, take bupropion-containing drugs, opioids or MAO inhibitors, or drink lots of alcohol or use sedative drugs and abruptly stop. Stop taking CONTRAVE if you experience severe allergic reactions, increase in blood pressure or heart rate, liver damage, glaucoma, or low blood sugar if used with certain diabetes drugs.